Would you like to know if Elon can be deported? Ooh.
Oh, guess what I just broke out?
So Elon has been complaining about illegal immigration in the United States. Turns out, guess who's an illegal immigrant? For the record, I am not giving legal advice here. I'm just looking at what evidence I have in front of me, which is not everything. I'm also not a judge, but I am going to consider whether it's possible based on the information I have and the laws I have as of the printing of this casebook. So according to the Washington Post, Elon came here on a student visa, but then never enrolled in school, which immediately invalidates his student visa. He went to work. He went to work for a company, which makes his student visa invalid. And per the Washington Post, it would have made him inadmissible from that point on and permanently barred from the United States. But there's more. So for those who are unaware, when you come into this country on a student visa, you're what's called a non-immigrant. You're just coming here for a single purpose, which is to study or something like that, but you're not coming here to stay. That would make you an immigrant. You are a non-immigrant. You were coming here for a non-permanent reason to come in, do something, and then leave. And you have been given a visa only for that purpose. And that's what he came to do, but he didn't do it. He did something else. Immigration has no sense of humor for that sort of thing. And the thing is, once you've done something like that, it's considered fraud and it kind of invalidates all of your paperwork from there on. I believe there are ways to cure it, but you have to do them. And from what I've read, he did not do anything to cure them. So you have non-immigrant visas. That's one thing. Then you have immigrant visas and stuff like that. It means you want to come here permanently. So when you come here as an immigrant, you get what's called lawful permanent resident status, LPR. That means you're here, it's what they call a green card. You're allowed to stay here. I think you have to get them replaced every 5 years. I don't think you're not allowed to vote, but you're here. You live here, you're kind of somewhat permanently here. And then you have citizenship. Once you've been here for 5 years, or depending on what you've done, sometimes 3 years, you can then apply for citizenship. Okay, cool. That's what Elon did. He came here, he got his lawful permanent residence, and then he applied for citizenship and became what's called a naturalized citizen. Okay, cool. And once you become a citizen, it's really hard to undo that. Except there's one way that you can undo that. Basically, if you lied somewhere in the process to get yourself here, then they can unwind the entire thing. So the basic requirements of becoming a citizen, you have to have this lawful permanent residence and you have to be present in the United States for a period of time before you apply for citizenship. But the key word here is lawful permanent resident. Word lawfully leaves out those who were admitted as lawful permanent residents on the basis of fraudulent documents or while otherwise inadmissible. So he had come here on fraudulent documents and he was lawfully inadmissible when he was here for those 5 years on his LPR. So he is not able to have gotten his citizenship. Okay. Does that mean they can take it away? Oh, yes, it does.
I do love a good casebook.
So INA section 340A requires revocation. They have to revoke any naturalization order that was, quote, illegally procured or procured by concealment of a material fact or willful misrepresentation. It also says that under 340H, you can reopen proceedings which granted naturalization and decide a case anew. That's a whole other thing. But either way, there are multiple ways of dealing with this. And looking at the case in my book, which is Cungus v. United States, it's a Supreme Court case. And what essentially they say is that the facts are material if they were facts that were part of the decision whether or not to grant the person citizenship. Well, if one of the main requirements of citizenship is to be a lawful permanent resident, that's a material fact that was concealed, willfully misrepresented. They have to revoke that naturalization order. I think he might be sent home. And I'm going to say probably to Canada because he's also a citizen of Canada. So head north, Elon, and quit complaining about our immigration and our immigrant. What are you talking about? You are literally an illegal immigrant complaining about illegal immigration in the United States. What?